Yeah, so tell me about your trip.
Well, you know, I go every year to visit the troops who are overseas, and you go for a couple of reasons. Number one, you want to thank them for what they're doing. Number two, you want to see if there's anything that they don't have that they need, and they have everything that they need. And number three is you want to make sure they know that the people of Wyoming are behind them all the way. And we have Wyoming Air National Guard. They are 10 time zones away. They're in the Persian Gulf, right across from Iran. It's a medical evacuation team. The major in charge, Jody Smith, is from the VA hospital in Cheyenne. And I'll tell you, if you were sick, you needed medical rescuing or a medical evacuation, you would want this team there for you. They are outstanding. So I had a chance to be with them, have Thanksgiving dinner with them. And, you know, with coronavirus, 10 time zones away seems even further away because some of them have had their leave extended, longer periods that they're going to be away from home, some maybe through Christmas. So they love seeing a familiar face. And, you know, they didn't want to talk about what their jobs were there. They wanted to talk about home. They wanted to talk about the rodeo, Frontier Days that we didn't have this year. They wanted to talk about Wyoming football because the Pokes are playing today against UNLV. Talked a lot about Cheyenne. One of the women from Pine Bluffs talked about Pine Bluffs. A lot of things, just what's happening at home. Hunting season. One of the soldiers, she's from Green River. We talked about the big summer events that they have every year in Green River. And it was just fun to have a chance to sit, visit with them. We had, Thanksgiving dinner, all the trimmings, and brought a little bit of home to them who are far, far away from their families this holiday season.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of coronavirus, since it's impacting our troops, do you guys have a plan to pass the HEROES Act?
Well, we've passed legislation that has brought about this vaccine, which is going to help so many Americans all across the country. I think we need to do more with paycheck protection loans. They've been wonderful in Wyoming. 13,000 businesses, small businesses in Wyoming have gotten those loans. It's been over $1 billion. I want to make more of those available. We need to make sure that the schools have what they need to get our kids safely back to school and so they don't fall further behind. In terms of what, though, the so-called HEROES Act that Nancy Pelosi has passed, there are a lot of things in that bill that have nothing to do with coronavirus. So I want to limit it to things that are actually going to help us get back on the full path to recovery that we need to do after coronavirus.
And when are you guys planning on getting back to work and working on that for the Wyomingites and Americans who are still impacted by this virus?
Well, the best thing we can do is make sure that there is the vaccine available to people that is safe and effective. And as the president has said, we think we're going to have millions and millions being able to be vaccinated this year. That to me is job number one as a doctor and as somebody who is very involved in Operation Warp Speed and meeting with the researchers. I think that is really critically important. So our businesses can get fully open and schools can fully get back to school. I mean, that's what we really need to do to get America back going fully again.
Are you going to take the vaccine?
Absolutely. First, we need to make sure that our medical care providers get it. We need to make sure that our most vulnerable get it. You certainly want to make sure that the troops receive it, but absolutely, I've worked with the researchers. I think it's safe. I think it's effective. And when it's available for me, I am going to take the vaccine.
Okay, so it's a trustworthy vaccine. That's good to know. Also, when it comes to the next administration, do you plan on still working as hard as you work now with the next administration?
Well, my focus right now is this special election in Georgia. There are 2 Senate seats that are up for election in January, and they will determine the balance of the United States Senate. If we are able to hold the 2 seats, then we'll have 52 Republican senators. And what that means for Wyoming is that I will be chairman of the Energy Committee in the United States Senate in terms of setting the agenda, in terms of focusing on the energy resources that we have here in Wyoming, our oil, our gas, our coal, our uranium, our renewables, all of the energy sources that we have and use in Wyoming that are so valuable for powering our entire nation. That is going to come through a committee that I would chair. And I think that's the most important thing right now between now and the inauguration on January 20th is making sure the Republicans are in the majority in the United States Senate.
So we've had a few coal plants close in Wyoming over in 2020 itself. Do you plan on trying to see if there's a way that we can move on from coal and oil to more renewable energy like wind or solar? Especially Wyoming, they would be a great wind power producer. Do you plan on researching that at all or trying to invest that into the great state of Wyoming?
Well, there are a couple of things there. Wyoming is an energy capital of America. We are the Saudi Arabia of coal, as well as we have world-class wind, and we need all the energy. And for us as a nation, we want energy security, we want economic strength, and we want to have environmental stewardship. It's important to respect the environment. The energy jobs in Wyoming are important to the families of Wyoming. They're also important to the schools and the government, because so many of the energy resources that we have go to help fund so many of the things that we do in the state of Wyoming. So we need it all. I am committed to all of it. And in terms of the research, the University of Wyoming School of Energy Resources is doing world-class research on carbon capture, utilization. We're doing it at the coal-fired power plant, Dry Forks in Gillette, Wyoming. Where I was up there and had a hearing of the Environment and Public Works Committee that I chair right now. We did that over the summer to bring the attention of the world to the research that's being done in Wyoming, directed by the University of Wyoming, so that we can continue to use all of the resources of energy we have, including the coal, the oil, the gas, and the uranium for nuclear power.
One of President Trump's lawsuits just got dismissed again in Pennsylvania today. Senator Toomey came out and congratulated President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris on Saturday. We still haven't heard from any of Wyoming's federal delegation. Do you guys plan on waiting until the electors cast their vote on December 14th, or when do you plan on congratulating President-elect Joe Biden, and do you plan on working with him?
Well, I've been very clear on this. I think President Trump has every right to make sure that all of the legal votes are counted and none of the illegal votes are counted. And there are ways to pursue that through the courts and with recounts. And that is processing on right now. States are certifying, verifying. The Electoral College will meet, and we will know that in January, whoever is certified is going to be sworn in as the President of the United States. President Trump has talked specifically about that and about the lawsuits that are going on. I'm going to continue to do what I've always done as a senator from Wyoming, which is work for the people of Wyoming to protect and promote Wyoming, our jobs, our economy, our environment, our people, our special places, our resources, our values. That is the job of the senator from Wyoming, no matter who is president, no matter which party is in the majority, which party is in the minority. That is going to continue to be my focus as what I would say is trying to be a forceful, effective, reliable, and conservative voice for the people of Wyoming.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to go back to coronavirus. Do you think that there should be a mask mandate in the state? Do you think?
Well, there's a big difference. Go ahead. You finish the. Go ahead.
Okay.
You want to start the question?
Do you think masks help slow the spread?
Well, I think masks do slow the spread, and I'm just going to go and show you that I have my mask with me right now, and I wore it when I was with the troops overseas. You may have seen some of the video from there. We were all socially distanced. We were all wearing masks. So we all use proper hygiene because I think it does slow the spread. But you specifically asked about a mandate, and I'm not somebody that's for government mandates on hardly anything. So I think it's wise, and as a doctor, I continue to talk about things that people can do to lower their risk, lower their chance of infection or disease. You know, I tell people that wouldn't recommend smoking because of lung cancer. You know, I have a whole different issues related to preventing disease. And if you want to prevent coronavirus, we know what we need to do, which is wear a mask, socially distance, and proper hygiene. And it makes a big difference. And especially with a vaccine so close and on the horizon. I mean, when the fact that we lost 2,000 people in the United States just the other day, when we're this close to making sure everybody can be protected, boy, it's the best thing we ought to do now is take the precautions. the troops are being very cautious because you want to make sure that the military is protected, and that's a big part of this as well.
And you did mention before that some troops leave is getting extended through Christmas, so they have to stay out there longer. I have a few friends in the Navy, and their leave is also being extended because of the coronavirus. How can people protect our military at home so they can come home to their families?
Yeah. Well, with coronavirus, it has had an impact on our troops overseas. They haven't been able to take the leaves that they would have liked. They've had their deployments extended because of just the travel has been cut down so much. So a lot of these troops are going to be away for the holidays, and what we want to do is to remember the troops, those that are serving overseas. If there are ways that we can connect with them, rights and gift packages, and additionally, and people in Wyoming are really good at this. They've done it in the past. Is if you have a friend, a neighbor, somebody in your church, and you know they have a family member serving overseas. Make sure that they are cared for over the holidays. If there are things you can do to help with maybe shopping or help with making a delivery for them, since we can't have the big gatherings, we can still do the neighborly things that Wyoming has always done for the family members who are here at home of those who are serving overseas, whether it's helping with a home repair, shoveling snow, lots of different ways that we can help. And people in Wyoming have always been willing to do that.